They generated over $500 million in sales last year and spent over $40 million in influencer marketing.
This is Fashion Nova.
Let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm Sean Azari.
And I'm Matt SKOPAK.
And we're going to be dissecting businesses so that you could take some of the best businesses that are doing extremely well on e-commerce side, and you could take away from it, take some information where you could implement it into your business and start generating sales. And today we're going to get into Fashion Nova. We're not going to really know what we're calling this, but
yeah, not sure yet.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out. But let's just say dissecting, almost like we're operating into a business.
We're extracting basically what they do well and why they're successful, so you can implement it into your own business at home.
All right, so let's go for number one. What Fashion Nova really did is worked with a lot of influencers. As I mentioned in the title, they spent over $40 million in influencer marketing. Now that's a lot of money. Majority of us, especially for bootstrapping a business, we can't afford that. But what can you do? How can you start working with influencers or micro-influencers for your business? Pretty simple. If you have a great product, right, look for these micro-influencers that have about, 20,000 followers, or even 10,000 or 5,000 followers. You're still reaching a good amount of people. Work with them. Send them your product if it aligns with your brand. Have them create content for you such that then you could leverage that content and post it on your platform, but you also get exposure to their audience as well. This could be really good. I mean, this is really what is it called? I like to call it work in the dirt almost. Like you're finding these people that have a small following.
Yeah.
Right?
But it's meant for your brand, right?
It's meant for your brand.
It's important to find the influencer that, I guess, is cohesive and represents your brand and what you're trying to do.
Exactly. And you also could find a lot of people. There's so many talented people in the world right now that they're so talented. Either they're great storytellers or they're great athletes, depending on what you want to do. I don't know if Fashion Nova sells yoga pants or anything, but if they did, I would find people like gymnastics, like people that are really skilled in gymnastics that can do a lot of great stuff that could potentially even go viral if you take that creative, because you send them a product and run multiple ad campaigns across that, which we'll get into as well. So again, highlight working with a variety of influencers and content creators that could expand your reach is very, very important in today's world.
And number two, I want to talk a little bit about validating your idea before starting your business. And we're going to look at how Fashion Nova did it, because I think it's very important to basically see how a successful business started and where they are today. So the first thing I want to talk about is you're going to come up with an idea, you're going to validate those ideas. And in terms of Fashion Nova, what they did is they first opened up their store in California in 2006. And it was just a normal retail store that people basically would come in and buy clothes. But what the owner at that time was seeing is he talked to his customers, he came up with ideas on the clothing line, and that was basically his value proposition that he created. And
he knew people wanted it.
Exactly.
It was a need. It was beautiful clothing, right? But people saw, they're like,
gorgeous,
wow, this is amazing at an affordable price.
Yeah, and that was the value proposition. Trendy clothing at a valuable or a cost-effective price that customers would get fast. And that's basically the value proposition that he confirmed by talking to his customers. So you need to go out there, you need to talk to customers, you need to talk to anyone you can and see if your idea is really solving the problem that you want it to be.
Now, majority of people probably watching this, they may not have customers or they can't afford a retail store. So what can they do to validate their idea or their business?
So, I mean, there's so many ways. If you have an idea of who you think your customer is going to be, talk to people that are basically those potential customers and ask them what they think. There's also ideas of looking at surveys or data that's already in the market, other companies, and seeing how they did it or seeing what they're doing to be successful. So it's about testing your theory, testing your ideas, and confirming that they're a good idea before you start. So once you have that, what Fashion Nova did, that's actually when he started his IG page, and that's when the e-commerce brand started. So validate your ideas, and then once you make sure it's a good idea,
Is there a good
scale.
number maybe? Like how would they know if they asked enough people?
I mean, the more people you ask, the better idea that you'll get.
Do we have a number, or is there like
There's no number. I mean, it's really, I mean, people can skip over that step and maybe create a successful business, but for the majority, you need to validate your ideas and basically make sure that your idea is really solving a problem that customers or that people have.
Oh, let's actually I don't want to even get to number 3 without actually digging into what you just said, solving a problem.
Solving a problem.
How can people think like some items, every product, I believe, or service is solving a problem, but people don't realize that. Now, how can you figure out what the problem is?
So that's a great point. So just because you come up with a problem initially, it doesn't mean maybe something that's what you're going to go to market with. So a problem to me might not be a problem to Sean, or it might not be a problem to you. But to a lot of people, if you can test and see if like, wow, that like people are really getting behind my idea and getting behind what I'm trying to do or I'm trying to solve. That's what really creates a brand, and that creates a successful company.
I'm gonna add a little bit more to it, just see if maybe you agree. It could. I don't know if this is what you're saying, but I kind of want to reverse engineer your buyer's persona, right? Whoever your person, who you're selling to, figure out what the problem, what the issue is with them, right? Reverse engineer them. So, for instance,
let's look at Fashion Nova. What did they do? He created trendy clothing that people love to wear out and take pictures of. Exactly. It wasn't expensive. It was on the
no, but
lower
people
side.
wanted, back before Fashion Nova, they wanted what people would wear at what are these awards
The
called?
award shows, the red carpets.
The red carpet shows, or what are they called again? The global.
The
We should know.
yeah, right. We should probably wow, tip
Those shows that you every year or every twice a year. The Oscars is one.
The global.
The music one. Which one's the music?
Isn't
the VMAs?
VMAs.
Sorry, but it's not our. We don't
but
watch
now,
that,
we don't watch anything. But now you have to understand the red carpet for people are individuals' Instagram feeds. That's the new red carpet. So what people are seeing and scrolling through, that's the walking down the red carpet. Like that's the new feed, and that's what people want to look like. And
that's why Zara does well. That's why all these
Forever 21 did well for a little bit, but
they didn't leverage into influencer marketing. Yeah. So
they didn't pivot. They didn't update.
So what's very important is really reverse engineering your potential consumer, understanding their mindset, figuring out the problem and how your product or service can solve that problem. That's so important in business. I can't even stress that enough. Solving a problem can really expand your business, but you got to really identify that problem. Yeah. And then sometimes, this is the greatest thing, you got to actually, the consumer may not even know the problem, but you got to introduce it.
Yeah.
Same goes, Matt is a CFO of a CBD company. And we're going through a pandemic right now, the COVID-19, depending on where people are watching this, right? Where his product, one of the benefits, and you could maybe touch upon on this because you know more about this industry than I do. One of the benefits of his product, it reduces the amount of stress for someone, right?
Of course.
So CBD, it reduces the amount of stress, but right now people are really stressed out. People are losing jobs. Yeah. People are freaking out that they might get sick and so forth. So his product helps solve that problem, but people may not know that. So if you keep putting out content, right, telling people that, you're not only giving them great information because they're stressed out, now you're giving that information, and then you're introducing your product because that helps solve that problem.
Yeah, of course. You're helping a person, those brands that can help people and bring value to a customer, that's the most important thing. And for us, I mean, people are going through hard times right now, and what we're trying to do is just help people and create a solution that everyone could use. So.
Perfect, I like it. Number 3, a niche-based marketing strategy. And what do I mean by that? Let's take Fashion Nova, because that's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Right now, they're currently running, as of April 20th, they're running about 36 ads on Facebook with multiple different versions, all right? And how can you take that? Why they're running 36 ads? Back in the day, before Facebook existed, people would create one campaign right? Probably actually maybe
Maybe
maybe two, like three campaigns, and they'll run it on TV for everybody to see. They would try to hit every demographic,
Yep.
but in today's world, that's not the way it works, right? You could create different ads for a specific buyer's persona. So an ad that's meant for women should not be used. That same ad should not be used across men. The same ad for college students should not be used across college alumni that are in the corporate world and so forth. So you want to create different versions of ad creatives, images, videos, and key messaging across those specific audiences. And that's the beauty about Facebook, Instagram, and all these platforms. They're really getting target specific. You can really identify your buyer's persona, right? And then run all these ad creatives. And I'm telling you, you got to do this constantly, because you're testing out what creatives are working and what are not. And that sucks. That's going to take a lot of work. That is a lot of work, but you got to do it, because once you get that hang of it, once you have that flow, that process set up, it becomes a little bit easier, but you got to do it, because that's what's going to help you really scale your business, not just one ad creative and say, you know what, Facebook does not work, Instagram does not work. Yeah, it doesn't work because you're not putting that work in, you're not creating all those ad creatives. And sometimes, by the way, what Fashion Nova does really well is, like, because they're working with all these influencers and content creators, they're also creating your ads. So you could take that content, repurpose it for your brand, and run ad campaigns. Yeah. Just like, think about that concept. You don't have to be setting up shoots and photo shoots. And honestly, like with my e-commerce brand, Reborn, where I sell wall art and some home decor accessories, I'm also not. Some in the background. Yeah, some in the background over there. I'm not only the CEO. I'm the model. Sometimes I'm the photographer, the videographer, the content creator. I'm doing it all, not because I fucking want to do that. Yeah. Excuse my language, but I got to do it. I'm bootstrapping, and that's sometimes you got to do. You just got to bootstrap.
For people that don't maybe know, I didn't know maybe.
Bootstrapping is basically you're funding your own business.
Yeah. You're doing whatever you can take, right?
Doing whatever you can take. I'm not. I don't have any investors. Yeah. I don't have I don't have any loans that I'm getting. I'm literally taking money that I am making either through my other business, and the way you could do that is you have a full-time job or you save money or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're taking that money, you're investing it back into you. And when people say invest in yourself, this is literally it. This is investing in your idea and you believe in yourself. So,
and paying influencers is great because some influencers are probably really good at creating content. They're not paying for shoots and things like that. These influencers create marketing, pictures, videos that you can then use to then market yourself. So it's a really great, that's a perfect example of bootstrapping, I think.
So a niche-based marketing strategy. That was number 3.
Number 4. Flexible payment options. And you're probably like, Matt, what the hell are you talking about right now? Flexible payment options. So when you get to that checkout cart at Fashion Nova, you see probably options for Visa, Discovery, Amex, and everything else, but you probably see one for either QuadPay, Sezzle, Afterpay, and this is all across all these e-commerce sites. And what are those? So basically,
I'm about to ask you that.
Wait, right? Yeah. What are these? I had no idea what they are. They are actually really cool software and payment options where you can basically pay 25% of whatever your total is, and then delay those payments for the remaining 3 payments for 2 to 3 weeks down the road, so you can spread the total out over a period of time. And why is that important? Because that allows customers, especially millennials and people that maybe don't have $100 or $200 to spend at this moment, to still have access to your product and give it a try, so that you can acquire more customers as a company, which is the most important thing. And for the customer, it doesn't cost any money. So if I make $100, I have to pay $25 in 2 weeks, $25 now, $25 in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks, and I still pay $100, but it's prolonged. And this is very valuable for basically taking in new customers. I mean, from the stats of it, they said they can bring in like 30% increase in revenue for you. So
Is that the number? Is that the
it's
actual
about
number?
that's about the number. I mean, from what I've seen from my own companies, it's
So what's the difference between, I know the answer, but I kind of want you to explain, the difference between a credit card and these flexible payment options
Yeah.
where they could split payments into, I believe, 4.
Exactly.
What's the difference?
So basically, they're created. Most of them are created very easily. So you basically just type in your name.
Do you need to have a
You need no
credit?
credit. There's usually no credit that's involved, depending on the company. Name, date of birth. I haven't really seen the social, but like it's very simple information.
and it's just, I believe, you correct me if I'm mistaken, I know quad pays like this, there's no interest.
No interest for the customer. The fees on the back for the company, and it's a small fee depending on the industry or whatnot.
So again,
but
the people that are
customer
watching
pays
this right now,
nothing.
so think about this. So you basically, you're providing all those options for your consumer, which is amazing, right? And they take a very small percentage, I believe it's 2%, and depending again,
2 to
what
6 depends on the market.
the I guess the quad pay or firm,
Yeah.
depending on which one you choose. So the consumer, amazing, right?
Yeah.
They get to choose this. They could, because they can't afford it today, especially going, again, I'm going to talk about an environment like now. Right now we're in or going into,
Yeah,
are we in
uncertainty.
we're
We're not
also
in a recession,
we're
but
not in
we're-
a recession defined as, but I believe we are.
Might be,
But
yeah.
a lot of people are very cautious with their money or they can't afford it, right? But they want the product now. This is going to allow them to have the product now, and they could pay for it later. They just have to pay it's a very small fee right now.
Yeah.
And it's free for them to sign up. I think it's actually $1 for them to join, or maybe
No,
it's free. I don't know.
it's free. It's free. But
And on top of that, by the way, when he was explaining the payment options, I don't know if you got into it, it's also giving the consumer, because some people have Apple Pay. Some people, did you get into this?
no, I didn't.
So, do you want to get into it? Or
No, you're doing
so
well. I'll jump in.
So, you want to have options for consumers to pay Apple Pay, PayPal. I think there's Amazon Pay now.
There's Amazon. There's so
Amazon
many.
Pay, or the Shopify account, I believe, as well. The reason why you want to do that, instead of just having them to fill out a shitload of information,
Yeah.
I mean, like credit
It's
card,
annoying.
shipping, it's
Billing
annoying.
address,
People just
all that.
want in and out. You have to make your website. This is Fashion Nova does this. A lot of e-commerce, successful e-commerce business does this. You have to have a way that people could go on your website. They saw an item, they want to buy it. It's like that, fast fashion. Everything is fast.
Yeah.
Time is the most. What is it called? It's not a
Time's the most valuable commodity.
thing. Like, yeah,
Yep.
people want to just see the site, they want to buy, and that's it. Nobody likes to. It's almost equivalent to waiting in line when you're in retail. So how freaking annoying it is to wait in line when you're in a grocery store, right?
It's
when
the
you're in
same
line
thing for checkout.
Nobody
For online checkout.
Exactly.
If you see a huge section, you're typing your name, address, and
No
then
one has time for
all
that.
The customers then, I mean, they leave stuff in their cart, and it's not valuable to a business. And I'm sure as business owners, you'll see that. It's frustrating.
It is.
So you want to make checkout simple. You want to offer as many options as possible to acquire that customer and show them what your brand's about.
I like it. So having multiple payment options for your consumers. That was number 4. Number 5, setting up a strong email flow, but also SMS, text messaging flow.
Yep.
And why is that? And what do I mean by that? How I can take away? There's these platforms. I'm very familiar with Klaviyo, and there's also MailChimp. I don't know what else there is, but there's tons. But I love Klaviyo. But what does a flow look like? Well, there's multiple versions.
What do you even mean by
sign
flow,
up. So you sign up for the newsletter, right? So you ask, you really want to get everyone's email, and it's not just throw out just different types of campaigns. When you have their email, you could see, once they enter their email, you can see everything they do on your website, which is so important. So not only they're into your welcome flow, unless they buy right away. Most people don't buy right away.
Isn't that
right?
when you log on the websites now, like the first thing that a lot of us see is like there's a pop-up, right?
Yeah, it
away
depends
with,
on your
like,
strategy.
Put in your email address
And
for
there's-
15% off or something like that.
That's one strategy. You could do a pop-up of like enter your email to win. I know one of my clients for my marketing agency is they do enter your email. You have a chance to win. We're giving away 10 free rugs a week. I think it's Eiley does that. I do. Reborn does spin the wheel.
That's a good one.
Spin the wheels. It's an app, a third-party app. I think there's multiple different versions where you enter an email or phone number, and then a wheel spins. You could either, depending on the prizes, it's like a roulette, I think. Right? If you see a roulette,
a boardwalk game.
where you could either win a discount code, free shipping. I'm just making up these incentives. Like it could be any of these. Like these are examples. A free product. a free dollar voucher, and so forth. You get the point. So you set up these, you capture that email, and then depending on what that consumer is doing on your website, let's just say they added a product into their cart and they left. Now, if you set up a right flow for your email or SMS, this is called cart abandonment, right? Where you, depending on how you set it up again, I'm going to keep saying that probably, but the way I set it up, I think within that next 4 hours after they left the website, they didn't buy, we send them emails like, hey, you forgot something in your cart, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then in the email, it'll be like the actual item that they left in their cart to remind them. They still didn't buy. Okay. The next day, or however you want to set it up, we'll send them again unless they purchase. If they didn't purchase, we could exclude those people out of that flow. These are rules that you can set up. Again, it's a learning curve.
Where is it set up? Is this like an app where you set
Klaviyo,
up?
I don't know if MailChimp does this. I'm familiar with Klaviyo. So I'm not familiar with MailChimp.
So do they integrate with, like, say we use Shopify as
yes,
like
they
website.
integrate.
They integrate, and
as a
then
third-party app.
if they see something in a cart and not purchase, they'll basically know, okay, let's send out round one of our cart abandonment campaign, and then maybe the next day it's round two, we'll send this email.
So like the next email, since they didn't buy, right, and they opened the email, we will maybe want to have an incentive. So 15% off your next order. There's these subject lines that you got to test out there every once, see what works for you. But there's a lot of research out there where you could pull in the right subject line and the right content to get people to actually buy. So what I like to do is if they didn't buy the first time, you may want to throw out an incentive, a percentage off, and then hopefully that will increase your cart abandonments, and then that results into a sale. At the end of the day, people need to see your product, your service, about it's that old saying, right? In sales, right? You have to, in a funnel, right? It's about, 7 times before they actually end up buying a product.
Is it? I'm not sure. I haven't heard that one before.
I don't want to make something up and not be completely wrong here. But sometimes they buy it right away. I get people buying products right away. I'm sure with Sugar and Kush, they buy right away.
Oh yeah.
But there's other people.
You have to maximize the
people are on a website, and then there's something that comes up. They maybe hop on a conference call. They completely forgot about your product. They had something else to do because we're living in a world that everyone has ADD.
Literally.
So you set up. So what I'm trying to get is set up multiple flows, and the flows are your welcome series, is your welcome intro, your browse and abandonment cart is basically they just view a product. They didn't add it to the cart. They viewed it. Right, but they left. That's another type of flow. Your upselling flow, that means they bought a product. Right, now you could upsell them, match a product with something they've already purchased because you got that data. Very important.
We do that for ours. If you add like a tincture or a CBD tincture or something into the cart, we then try to get basically gummy bears at a reduced price. Or for Sean, I know like he does the beautiful wall art, and like you add maybe some of your like towels or I saw that you're doing now the face mask, right?
Yes.
Something that maybe is a lower priced item.
Unfortunately, I haven't set up the upsell. I should do that, but it's part of my to-do list, but I need to get more into the upselling.
Things that maybe it's not a product that's that expensive. Maybe it's usually a lower cost item at a discount. Those work the best if you're trying to upsell. But another thing in this category is holiday sales. Every single holiday that there is, you should have an email or content going out to your customers because it is proven, right? Proven.
I think that should be a number 6, relevancy.
Right? Relevancy. Like it's proven that on holidays, sales increase if you're advertising correctly. So that's
incorrectly or correctly?
No, if you're sending out correspondence or emails or some kind of content for holidays and offering a discount code, proven that your sales will increase for that day because everyone loves sales, and basically it's content. You're getting in front of people, they're seeing your brand, and they're making purchases. So that's key.
So staying relevant is key. I would actually add that for number 6. Relevancy is key messaging. Fashion Nova has done this pretty well, even with the COVID-19. Their email flow is completely like quarantini and shop. I think that's a subject line. Maybe I could pull it up in visual and video format where you'll see they have all these sales going on, like they also have lounge wear because everyone's lounging in their sweats and so forth. So messaging, staying relevant is very, very important. So updating your flows, going back to number 5 is key. I think that's it.
I think that was.
I think we crushed it. Hopefully we crushed it. Hopefully that was valuable to you guys. Do you have anything else to add?
I think that's it for right now.
Yeah.
I think that's it for right now.
Guys, we really hope you like this piece of content. We're going to do this weekly. We're going to try to do it weekly, but we want to be very consistent. We want to make sure we're providing you guys value. So if you have any questions, if you liked it, hit the thumbs up button, or wherever you see this, subscribe.
Questions, or if you have some ideas in terms of like what we talked about or want to run anything by us, give us a shout out.
I like it. Guys, depending on when you're watching this, stay safe, healthy, stay home. We're gonna fight this virus, that freaking virus. If I could see the virus, I'll knock it out.
Yeah.
Is it in your head? Bam! Stay 6 feet away. I know this is not 6 feet away, but me and SKOPAK been hanging out
For about the whole 5 years and
So anyway, ciao, later.
Guys, see you soon.
And kick ass. Get that marketing, get that business out there.
Let's grow that
You can do
business.
it. Boom. Ciao.